Daryl, we will start with you. Go ahead.
Thanks, Eric. Morning, Coach Jen. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Daryl Burr with the Cat's Paws. I was asking Coach O earlier about, I've seen players come to school as a package deal. I don't think I've ever seen assistant coaches. What appears to be, was it a package deal? Was it an independent decision? And how much did you and Coach O talk about the process and what it might be like coming to Kentucky?
I don't think it was considered a package deal. I think that it just so happened that our profiles and what Coach Kyle wanted at the time just so happened to be on the same staff. I don't think that it was a package deal. I think that Coach Antigua handled his situation and his decision that he made in his lane, and I handled my situation and my decision in my own lane. We kind of run our own race in terms of making executive decisions, although it didn't hurt. The fact that he and I have an unbelievable chemistry. Our connection is unbelievable. We're really, really, really tight, and we're brothers, and we're able to work really well alongside of one another, and that just makes for a strong union. But I don't know about it being a package deal. I think that each individual ran their own race, and we just came to a decision that was best for both of us, and we wound up again at the same spot.
You have any idea who said yes first?
I think Orlando said yes first, and then I was dealing with a different situation. I had a lot going on. I had a lot of opportunities, and I think I made the best one. Of course, I chose to coach for Hall of Fame coach John Calipari, and the opportunity to coach at Kentucky, which is something that I obviously couldn't pass up.
Ben Roberts, we'll go to you.
Hey, Chen, welcome to Lexington. Ben Roberts with the Lexington Herald Leader. Just wondering, how much have you been around John Calipari before you got here? What was your relationship, if you had any relationship with him previously?
I tell you what, Ben, how you doing? A long time ago, well, not that long ago, but when I was a high school coach at Whitney Young High School in Chicago, we were a top 10 program in the country. We had, I'm sure you guys have heard of Whitney Young and all of the great players that have played there, and I coached there. And when I was a high school coach, Coach Kyle was at Memphis, and he may not even remember this, but I came up to Memphis and I studied Coach Kyle for a week. Coach Antigua will remember that. And I was there for a week just studying the dribble drive offense at the time. And that's what I do. Like I'm a forever student of the game. I study like crazy. I study everybody. I go and visit everybody. I want to learn. As if I'm one of those guys, if I can take a page out of this book, his book, that book, and put it with my pages, and now I got a really, really, really good read. I got a great book. And so I did that as a high school coach. And that was kind of like my first introduction to Coach Cal. And it was from an admiration standpoint from what he was doing and the offense and obviously the success. And I want to be around that. I want to be part of success and winning. And so that was my first introduction to Cal when I was a high school coach. And obviously I followed throughout my coaching career, and I followed Cal. And we've been in some of the same gyms in Chicago and all over the place recruiting. And so we've known of each other for a while, but I never, ever, ever dreamt or thought that I would have the opportunity to work for him. And that's why when that opportunity came, it was like a sweet deal, man. It was just so sweet to say yes, that I was coming to coach at Kentucky.
John Wong, we'll go to you next.
Hey, Chen, John Huang, NOLA Media, justthecats.com. Welcome to Big Blue Nation.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Well, you know that the fan base here is extremely passionate, and they are very ravenous right now, and you fed them some red meat when you promised them many, 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 many championships. Exactly how many championships were you talking about?
I'm not sure how many, but let's be honest. Like, that's what they've done here, right? I mean, I don't think I went out on a limb at all. This is Kentucky basketball. They've already hung many championships in the rafters and on the walls. If I walk around Rupp, as I walk around the practice facility, that's all you see is trophies. They don't even have enough room for all of these trophies. They got trophies everywhere. So I think that I was on spot with what I said. It's just only a matter of time before it happens again, and it will happen. Let's be clear. And so I think I was speaking to the obvious. That's what this place is about, and that's what we planned on giving a championship effort. Now, we may not win many championships, but I guarantee you our effort, and of course my effort, will be at a championship level. I'm unapologetic about that.
What are some of your strengths in trying to expedite that process?
I think that my strengths, it comes from a lot of different places, but if I had to narrow it down, obviously it would be my relationship with the players, my player development skills, my training. Obviously, I'm a really good ball coach. I can coach both sides of the basketball. Here last year, I was a defensive coordinator for us at University of Illinois, and we had a top 5 defense in the country. And I had every single scout, every single one of them I had. And so I'm well-rounded as a basketball coach. I'm also able to recruit here and there. You know, I think I'm also talented with my relationships and my connection across the country with recruiting. But you're going to get a well-rounded individual, someone who comes to the gym every day with the sort of energy that no matter what time it is, if it's 4 a.m. practice, 5 a.m. practice, Chin's going to have the same energy. I don't drink coffee at all. My energy is my energy. That's how I am and who I am when I wake up out of the bed. There's no coffee. I don't have to go to Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and none of that. That's who I am every day.
Thank you.
Kyle Tucker, we'll go to you next.
Hey, Chen, it's Kyle Tucker with The Athletic. Welcome to Kentucky. Orlando said that he told you this is Camelot. Kentucky is Camelot. I'm curious, in more specific detail, what else did he tell you about Kentucky?
He told me that this place is on steroids. I mean, it's no, man. I understand the dynamics of this place, and I truly am starting to see it. I've only been here for 36 hours. I mean, I see it as I go to the parking garage to get my car. I've seen it when we went to have dinner last night. This place is on steroids. It's different. It just hits different, you know. And I understand the dynamics of that. And having Coach Antigua, who's been through it already before, to kind of help me with the transition is also very, very good opportunity for me to have someone that's been through it, who experienced with it, instead of going along and going through it without any of that, right? So he's going to be a big help to me in terms of the transition, but I'll figure my way around. We're all trying to figure our way around, and I'll figure my way around step by step. I'm not going to jump any steps. I'm not going to rush into anything. I'll figure it out. I've always have, and I'll adapt.
Daryl, since we have any other questions right now, come back to you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Coach, you were talking about your strengths, and then earlier you were talking about the chemistry between you and Coach O. I'm curious, what do you see as Coach Antigua's strengths as a basketball coach?
Man, Coach O's been doing this for 20-some years, man. He's got a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience. He's obviously been a head coach already. And so there's not one person across the country that doesn't like Coach O. Like, even when I was not working with Coach O, and I've known him for a long time, anybody that you meet, they love Coach O. His personality. He's a jokester. He's the worst joke teller but funny guy in the world. They're horrible. They're these Harlem Grove try to jokes. It's just ridiculous, but they're still funny. And so because they're bad jokes, but they're still funny, tells you the type of person he's a high character individual. He's all about helping you. He's all about trying to make sure you're okay. Like sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. What about you? Like he's always about making sure that everyone else around him is okay. And he's like a big brother to me in terms of all of those things. But from a basketball standpoint, there's I mean, Coach Antigua is a head coach. You know, he is, and he lives and operates like a head coach. He's got all the tools, man, that you need to be a successful head coach. And when he gets this opportunity again, I know this time around he's a much better coach than he was the first.
Cool. Thank you.
Guys, we got a few more minutes here with Chin. John, we'll go back to you.
Hey, Jen, one of Coach Cal's strengths is that he's very innovative and always able to think outside the box. And yet, ironically, I think one of the media criticisms sometimes was that he didn't listen a whole lot to a lot of his assistants trying to encourage him with new things. How are you in approaching that? Are you one of these that's able to kind of take an idea and present it to somebody and convince them that this is something that could work, that they're maybe not familiar with or comfortable with?
Well, I can't speak to that because I obviously wasn't a part of any of his staffs to know that for being true. But my job is to shop for Coach Calipari's groceries. My job is to service him the best way I can. And if I have an idea that I think that we can utilize, it's all about trying to help us be better, trying to help us win. If I have an idea that I think we can utilize, it's all about your approach, right? It's all about how you approach the head coach in terms of getting him to see your idea as something that is all about the team. It's all about us helping us win. I got a particular set of skills that I use when those situations happen. And I think, like, Coach, have you ever tried this, or what do you think about this? It's just the approach. And at the end of the day, that's your job as an assistant. And I think that I'm persistent enough without being overwhelming and without being, to obviously get my point across. And it is Coach Cal's decision to whether he wants to utilize those things or not. But that's not going to stop me from trying to help us win and be successful. It's his decision. He's the head coach, and I'm going to continue to service him no matter what.
I know he's really big defensively, and to hear you talk about your defensive ideas, I can't wait to hear some of those new strategies that you're going to be throwing out at him.
I'm gonna throw some at him, and we'll see. If he likes them. He's got HOF in front of his name. I don't. I'm still grustling, like I like to call it. I'm still grinding. So trust me, he knows what's best. And but obviously we're all like snowflakes. We're all different, and we see different things. And I'm sure there's some ways that I like to guard certain schematics and different actions, and hopefully he likes some of them. And we'll see.
All right, thank you. Good answer.
Jeff Drummond, we'll come to you.
Hey, Jen, Jeff Drummond from Cats Illustrated and Rivals. Welcome to Lexington.
Man, it's a pleasure to be here. It's been awesome for 36 hours. It's been great. The people have been so good, man. Everybody you see is nice, and everybody you see is warm and excited, and I'm feeding off of everybody else's energy. And normally that's the other way around. So this has been great for me, man. Everybody's unbelievable.
That's awesome. I can't wait to get to know you a little better. You were talking earlier about your time in Chicago as a high school coach and learning the dribble drive. And it made me kind of think the college game has kind of transitioned a little bit and changed the way it's played during that time and where you are now. What sort of things do you look for in a player when you go out recruiting now as compared to maybe when you started out in the business?
Good question, Drummond. I think first and foremost, it's character over characters. Okay, character wins, right? Obviously, we play against the best players in the world, right? This is a high level. You definitely need talent, but you need talent with character. The character piece is, I think, is what you have to evaluate as well, because you want high character kids in the locker room. You want high character kids who places a premium on winning in your locker room. And I think that you definitely identify and evaluate talent, but you got to evaluate that talent by also combing through whether or not this is a high character kid, or this is a kid that you want your daughter to date, or this is a kid that you want in your locker room, because that's important. You got to win your locker room before you win basketball games. And so I'm a big person on always having an ear and always having a beat and a heartbeat and rhythm for the locker room. And I do a really good job of nurturing and helping players and nurture the relationships inside of the locker room. Because if you don't have that, you can forget about winning a lot of basketball games. You may win some on talent alone, but to get where we're trying to get and to get where Kentucky is used to getting, the character piece is important.
Got time for maybe one or two more. John Clay, we'll go with you.
Hey, Coach, I want to get it straight from the source. How did you get the name Chin?
I've told this story so many times, but I'm going to give it to you. But like they say, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, John. I want to keep it 100, right? So as you can see, I've had this John Leno face. I'm handsome, but it's kind of like, this John Leno deal going, this Jay Leno deal going. I've had the same Jay Leno face ever since I was a kid. So imagine being in a little small body with this Jay Leno kind of face with the chin and everything. And so kids started calling me Chin on the playgrounds and playing basketball. They started calling me Chin at that point. And it just stuck with me, and I've never been able to get rid of it. And so that's really, and it was a guy, I remember the kid, his name was James. But here's the deal. He had, when you earn a nickname in the streets and playing basketball in Chicago, on the playground in Chicago, you've arrived. Now, you earn those nicknames. You don't just get nicknames. Like, you got to be really good in order to get a nickname. So let me tell you this kid's nickname. His name was James, but his nickname was E.T. So you can imagine what his face looked like. So we called him E.T. He called me Chin, but you can imagine what his face looked like if he was nicknamed E.T. So that's the story, and that is a 100% fact. I just kept it 100 with you.
That's going to be hard. That's going to be hard to top, but Curtis will give you a chance to finish us off.
Yeah, Coach, welcome to Lexington. You talked about your career a little bit, being in high school and all those different levels and everything you've gone through. What does it mean to now be a coach at the University of Kentucky?
Like I said, man, I'm truly living a dream. I've done it from the bottom all the way to the top, literally, right? Literally, I'm at the pinnacle. I'm at, the top of the mountain in terms of being a coach at the University of Kentucky. And I needed every step of the way, man. I needed every step of the way. I've coached small fry basketball. I've coached middle school basketball, high school basketball. I needed every step of the way. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't want to jump and skip any step. I needed every step of the way to get to where I'm at right now. It's all part of that book that I talked about. It's all part of my story. And right now, I am at the pinnacle, and I'm really, truly living the dream. I know that's like a catchy cliche that everybody says, but if you have known me for where I come from and where I'm at now, it's really a dream. It's really a dream. And I'm loving every minute of it.
Guys, that's a great stopping point. We'll end it there. Appreciate Chin and Orlando making time today, and appreciate you guys being flexible on a Saturday. As always, we'll get a partial transcript out to you and send a replay of video-wise to you here in just a little bit. So